So, if you guys have been living under a rock, you know Faze Clan has gone into some shit lately. I didn't know about this until I was at the gym and I was just on the treadmill, as you do, and Philip DeFranco started talking about it, and then I just went down a rabbit hole. So yeah, but I'm not going to be talking about that, even though I just did. What I'm going to be talking about today is the 2020 found footage style horror movie that was created by Faze Clan to promote some weird fucking website called Crimson. Now, I don't really have the expertise to go into like what is so weird about the website and shit, but just to give you a rundown for it, this looks like it was supposed to be like the big kickoff of a sort of at-home movie experience sort of website where YouTubers can, you know, make their own projects and shit. This apparently did so good that they were in the works of a sequel, but I have found nothing about it. It's hard finding articles like even talking about this movie, even though places like Variety and shit talked about it. The first link that literally pulls up when you pull up Faze Clan, Faze Rug movie Crimson is just a full-length YouTube video of someone pirating the whole movie, which I'm totally not using clips from that. I promise. I legally watched this on streaming services. I watched it on Tubi. But yeah, going into this movie, I really wanted to hate it, and I ended up hating it. But then on the second rewatch, I just realized no one in this film was giving a shit about actually making a movie. Because if you watch it, you sort of realize it's just a way longer vlog that is apparently like being promoted by major companies and has producers and directors such as the people who made like Hellfest and fucking some of the Paranormal Activity movies, which, why did they need to do that? They could have saved so much money. They could have just given Faze Rug just the reins on this shit, and then he would have probably made the same damn thing. Going into the plot, there is no plot. It is literally just him talking about how he moved into a house, and then some spooky things happen, like weird balloons and clowns and all that sort of shit. It's very much kid-centric, except there's a lot of themes that are not for kids. Like, they sexualize the like weird nanny maid person a lot and make those sort of references. There's a few curse words and shit, and you know, the whole entire like murderous clowns. They openly talk about how like one of the clowns like murdered and fucking killed people and shit. And the weird thing is, I cannot find a rating on this movie because some people said it was rated R. Other times it's mentioned it's TV-14 or PG. It said TV-14 on some sites, and on other sites it said it was unrated, which is just like, what the fuck? Actually, explaining the plot is they move into a new house. They find out some weird legend about like some murderous clowns or something like that, something involving a dog. The dog gets kidnapped after spooky hijinks happen, and they go and save the dog and all that shit. It's very dumb. If you want to watch the movie, it's like 80 minutes, so go ahead. I'm not really going to give a shit on plot synopsis because really I've wasted too much brain power on this movie already. But I think what's funny is at some points I could sort of see where they were going. Like, there is a little bit of something. Like, they could have easily just made this into a full-on, like, found footage comedy, and it would have really worked, because if you have a bunch of inexperienced actors just bullshitting on the spot, you can get some sort of funny reactions. Like, there is some legitimately, like, funny, okay lines, and they do get meta with the YouTuber-ness. And if they just went full force with it, I feel like you could have had something really there. Like, you could have just discussed, like, how this 26-year-old or 23-year-old at the time is just making kids content. And they sort of point that out at some points. And they sort of point out that they are dickbags. But I wish they could have just gone, like, just with it. Like, maybe they're doing, like, a stupid internet challenge and it results in them getting murdered or something. Or maybe it's, like, it's all a prank bro at the end. I feel like that could have been funny. Like, they had the plot of just, oh, it's the raw footage of, like, a YouTuber recording, like, a YouTube video. They could have just, like, gone with it, but they really didn't. They had to make it into, like, oh, he's a hero or some shit, or, oh, it scary clowns. Which I don't even get why they do clowns. I know it was, like, a trend on YouTube, and if you saw the previous video where I talked about short films and we talked about the short film Jester, I mentioned how there was a huge epidemic in, like, 2016 about clowns. But I don't know what's up with that, because YouTubers are still doing that shit for no fucking reason, because children love to eat that shit up. But yeah, I felt like at some points there was some sort of like nice little bits. Like, weirdly enough, like at the, I think it was like at the 50 or 60 minute mark, they did some more stationary camera footage and it actually looked pretty good. And then closer to the end of the movie, there's like a weird home invasion style thing where they get some of the clown actors, like they get like a lot of circus actors here. And there's some, like, legitimately, like, okay bits to this. Like, there's a cool shot where he's zooming in the camera, and then one of the clowns on stilts come up. And then, I actually really like this part. There was a random GIF left for them that explodes on them, and I legitimately did enjoy that effect. I saw that, and I was like, oh, okay, that's sort of, like, neat. If the rest of the movie captured those little parts, then I would enjoy it way more. But no, this is not a horror movie. This is not a comedy. This is just a really long vlog, and I really fucking hate it. Like I said, they had something there. There's little teases, but really there's nothing. And neither is this video. This is nothing. I'm merely talking about this movie. I don't even know how to frame it because I can't even take it seriously. Like, starting out the movie, I wanted to take it, like, seriously. Like, oh, this is, like, an actual, like, movie and shit. Because for some reason they have fucking directors and writers. They had writers. They had accredited writers for this movie. You did not need to do accredited writers. They hired actual actors. They hired, like, they made props and shit. They made sets and set design and shit. And then you watch the movie and it's just, oh, it's a bunch of YouTubers just dicking around and shit with a loosely veiled plot. Like I said, there could have been something here. Like, they could be, like, you know, going and exploring, and then, like, it's sort of like one of those movies. I think it's Grave Encounters, where, no, it's sort of, yeah. I think it's Grave Encounters, where the movie where they, like, go to some abandoned place, and they know it's, like, a fake ghost show, so they try to fake it, but then they find out it's real. They could have done something like that. Like, they could have just been like, okay, we're in the abandoned mines for the 3 a.m. challenge, and then, you know, it's sort of like raw footage of them talking bullshit. And then it actually happens. They could have done that, but obviously this is made for children and made to sell the Faze clan brand. So they didn't. And of course they have to make him like the hero at the end of it, and they have to make it like where, you know, he's some big YouTuber and all of them know. Like, literally the movie ends with like the cops filming like a TikTok and shit. And I was just like, oh, I don't want to be here anymore. I really don't. So yeah. They had something, but they didn't. But to give credit where credit's due, there was some ones I did enjoy. But to end this video, I'm just gonna read the reviews. So if you could join me, let's read a few. This one by Damar Zinovic. I hope I said that right. 5 stars, and this was posted a week ago. Good film, masterpiece. Creative idea of real person, places, no fake green screen things, etc. For Rugrats. Faze Clan fans, is great horror. Clap emoji. And this one by Isabel Seals, 5 star. I love the movie. It is really good. Good job to the people in it and to the people who helped with it. Also, I read some of the reviews and some people hated it, and I just wanted to say, before you say something is bad, try to do it first, because you never know how hard it is until you try. This one by a random account that I accidentally cropped out is, yo, this movie was really good. I like his vlog. It's like his vlogs, but in a scary good way. Love the cinematic to it all. Definitely worth a watch. And then, for a 1-star review that really just gives my opinion on the movie, Dean Zinda. Sorry, I had hope for the first 10 minutes. Honestly, the beginning of the movie is a great setup and would have worked, but it just went downhill from there. It feels like a vlog that just keeps going on and on and on. This movie lacks in the horror department. The tension setup in the beginning does not continue to build until the last 15 to 20 minutes of the movie, and even then, the first clown in the house is a gag. It spends the majority of the movie just them being rude to their neighbors for laughs. I was not rooting for any character to live or die, I just stopped caring. Had they cut out about an hour of this movie, I feel like it would have been more successful in drawing me in. Not worth the R rating, as it would be better for a much younger audience. Thank you all for watching. Y'all have a good day, good night, good midnight, good midnight. I'll be seeing you on the next one, and make sure not to die. Bye-bye.